Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel Leatherweight. In this video, we will going to discuss about the history taking. What are the essential steps in the history taking and how we approach a patient before taking any history and what is a proper way of history taking. We will going to discuss all this in this video. So starting from some of the introduction, that what is history taking? History taking is an essential step for diagnosis and current prognosis of the disease. You can say we should have to a correct diagnosis and what is the current situation and prognosis of a disease going on, we can assist by taking history. History taking is an art and you will learn it by time, so don't be hurry, be practical. So negative answers, if you get in your history from a patient, you get negative answers. So do not ignore that negative answers because all the negative answers from patients are equally important as positive answers. The history should be written and taken in a proper and correct sequence. Now before history taking, you have to follow a RGIC manner. And what is this RGIC manner? That is introduction to the patient, consult from the patient and greet the patient, and then you will going to start the history taking. Now what is the first step of history? The first step of any history, that is the biodata. The biodata includes the complete name of a patient, age and date of birth of a patient, sex and marital status of a patient, occupation, residence. You can also ask about the time and date of admission, or you can also ask about the mode of admission. Either the patient has been come from ER or OPD, or it has been admitted since how many days, when, where. Residence, occupation, name, age, sex are very important to be asked in the biodata. Second step in the history taking after biodata is the presenting complaint, PC. This presenting complaint is an answer to a question, what are you complaining of? This question is asked by a doctor to the patient. And now if you have asked the question, patient will give you a list of complaints, the pain, the fever, and other things that the patient have. So write all these complaints with time in a chronological manner. That is, the thing that appeared first should be written in the above line, and the thing that is appeared later on, like the recent events that occur, you should have to write this in a second line. So for example, the pain, a patient have a pain in right upper quadrant since 2 months, so you have to write in first line, and then now before 2 weeks she has also developed fever, so we're going to write in the second line. This is a chronological manner that you should follow in a presenting complaint. Now coming to the next step, that is HOPC, history of presenting complaint. Now after writing the presenting complaint, we have to take the history of that presenting complaint. In this presenting history of presenting complaint, you have to ask the patient the full and the detailed history of the presenting complaint from the patient and ask about the symptoms, associations and effects of presenting complaint. All the questions will throw your light to the exact diagnosis of the cause or the complaint. So that's why this history of presenting complaint is very important. It should be detailed and full of questions. So if for example, if there is a pain, so you have to ask the site, the onset, the character, time, severity, radiation and associated symptoms with pain. If there is a complaint of swelling, then you will going to ask the consistency, size, and these all questions regarding the presenting complaint is the history of presenting complaint. Next thing you have to ask is systemic review or systemic questions. That is a very essential part of the history, and it will lead to the correct diagnosis. If you have the presenting complaint and you know the systemic review, you can correlate many of the diagnoses. So what is a systemic review and how we will going to do this? These are the direct questions that you must ask from every patient. If the patient has another complaint, or you can say the patient has complaint of GIT, but you have to ask the symptoms of all the system. Okay, so what is the list of this? You have to ask these questions. I have made the list here, so we will going to discuss it in the next part. Thank you.